So, hello guys, welcome to this week's weekly update. Right now, it is Saturday morning, at just coming up to 10 o'clock, oddly enough. That's quite late for me. Mind you, I've been doing stuff. So, title of this week's video is, I think I'm a closet millennial. Actually, I think I'm acting very millennial this last few weeks, but I'm also glad I'm Gen X. Because I'm having problems. I'm chucking my dummy out of the pram and then I'm going, right, okay, it's not that important, we can sort this. So let me explain. So first of all, you'll see a different background. That's because I'm recording this on the laptop. So I get home the other day, must have been Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. Sorry, I get onto the computer, no internet. So I reset the router, thinking just needs a reset. Still nothing. Check the Wi-Fi on the phone, working absolutely fine. So the Ethernet cable's not working. Maybe, I don't know. So I don't have Wi-Fi on my laptop. I've just the walls are quite thick here. You're better off having Ethernet cable anyway. So I order on Amazon a Wi-Fi dongle thing, you know, the thing that picks up the Wi-Fi. Comes the next morning, plug it in, it's picking up Wi-Fi, but it's got no signal. So for the last couple of days I've been recording on the PC, copying it over to, why can't I find it? I had it a minute ago. I have an external hard drive. Sorry guys, I have an external hard drive which I plug in, and the one I used to take to London with me, and just swapping the files over. So I'm uploading things on the laptop but recording them on the PC. It's not the end of the world, I can manage, it's just extremely inconvenient. I now go to record this weekly video and my front facing camera is not working, the one that's plugged into the inbuilt C port, USB-C port. The other two cameras are working, the one that I used to record with, the overhead, the camcorder, and I've got another camera that's plugged into the spray booth. So I'm waving my arms about because I'm showing you that's where the spray booth is, and that's where, so I can manage, but obviously I'm going to have to do the weekly updates on this. So when I can get this repaired, I've spoken to the PC guy, he doesn't know what's wrong, and I'm thinking maybe there's damage to the motherboard, because the common denominator is I also got a card reader that won't work. So I'm going to have to open up the PC, I'm going to have to try things in different USB ports, and might even put the desktop actually on the desk so I can access it easier. So yeah, that's pain in the arse. So right, normally I begin my weekly updates with what's been happening since the last weekly update. However, when I recorded the last weekly update, just literally after I recorded it, this month's Gus and Bella box came. So the only space I had available for that was that day, so I recorded it and put it out that day. I'm going to be doing that monthly whenever it comes. It'll probably go out, I don't know. I'm getting in a little bit of a muddle with my days, which I will explain in a little bit. So on to this week. Now we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more weeks until my channel goes Christmas. I know I'm mentioning the C word, Halloween's not even over. From the 1st of December I'm going the mystery, it's not a murder mystery, it's a mystery. It's this, basically there's a crime, and you get evidence every day, and you have to solve the crime over the course of 24 days, and then lovely. And then from Christmas Day I'm doing some starter sets. I'm calling it the 12 Days of Airfix Starter Sets. It's not a very good title, I know. Last year I tried to do the 12 Days of Craftmas, and it didn't work because I couldn't get the 12 crafts done. Couldn't get them done. Some of the crafts I was doing were taking weeks, some take 5 minutes, and it just, you need more than about 3 months to plan that sort of thing, as I found out last year. So this year I'm doing the 12 days of Airfix starter sets. Now, this is a little clue, guys, I had intended to get 13 kits. We do a draw. Each day I draw a kit and then I make that particular kit. That leaves 1 kit left over, which then what I do is I take all of the comments from all the previous 12 days, chuck them in a drawer, randomly draw 1 name, and then that person wins that kit. However, I was very kindly informed that, what the hell's going on there? So I just found a mucky mark on my laptop. My laptop sat there doing nothing for months, and I've opened it up and it's like antique. So yeah, so I've just given you a clue there that I'm doing 12. I have 13 Airfix starter sets. Sorry, yeah, I was going to say I was very kindly informed by Building with the Boys. They've got some funny rules with YouTube, and you have to do this and you can't do that and that. So I'm not going to do a competition. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make 12 kits, and then there will be 1 kit left over, and that kit I'm going to send as a gift to a friend. Yeah, if you get what I mean. So then I decided to change it a little bit. The reason I've changed it a little bit is the order that the kits have come through. I really would like to do kind of, here's the theory, right? You get given 12 Airfix starter sets for Christmas, you know, from various relatives or whatever. What order would I do them in? Kit number 1 I will do straight out of the box. Kit number 2 I will add something, so I might perhaps get myself a decent pair of clippers or something, and then maybe by video 5 or 6 I'm starting to use the airbrush, you know, that kind of thing. The only problem is, when you think about it logically, what is the most likely start? If you only received 1 Airfix starter set for Christmas, which one would it be? I think it would be the Spitfire. Not the easiest one, it's not difficult, but it's not the easiest kit. I think the easiest kit to make would be the Tiger 1 tank, because you paint it all one colour and then glue it together, stick the decals on. But, you know, if you had a young kid and you want to buy them scale model, and you know they're into, maybe, you know, they're more likely to be interested in aeroplanes, I think you'd buy them the Spitfire. So ideally Spitfire has to be the number 1, the first one to come out, and then work it out from there. So I think it's going to be a daft idea to do them randomly. So I'm just going to sort of say, right guys, I have 12 kits. Each day I'm going to build one, and I'm going to work out the order. So yeah, that's December. Now from the new year, the format for the channel is going to change slightly. But what I think I'll do is I will explain. Normally I explain last week and then I explain next week. I think it'll just be easier to do it that way. So last week we had, on the Monday, we had Robocop issue 4344. That was the right thigh stages 8 and 9. And this coming Monday we have ET stage 39. Sorry, forgive me for looking over the camera. My PC's behind, so I've got my little spreadsheet. I really wanted to show you my spreadsheet. I had a comment from a Peter Webster who said about being organised. I've always been good with spreadsheets, but what I do is I have a little calendar, and I can add days, because each cell, like each Monday, the date for Monday just says take the previous day, add 7. And then I do that for every line. So when I want to add a new week, I just copy and paste the last line, and it does everything automatically for me, and it works things out. I spent hours on it over the course of time. You know, I set the spreadsheet up, and then I added this and I added that. I've added color coding, so I have like I have a light rosy red color. Sorry, bear with me. That's my alarm telling me to get up. Sorry, I do apologise. This is what happens when you set your alarm. I don't know why I set my alarm for 10. I didn't get home till 3 or 4 in the morning. So that's not nearly enough sleep anyway. And I've been up since 8 o'clock. So I have a rosy pink, which tells me that I don't have the issues, but they're on their way. So for example, when I've paid for my fan homes, I changed those issues to rosy pink to say they're on the way. Then when I receive the issues, I change them to a dark red. It really does stand out, and it's kind of sitting there going, make these videos. I then have yellow, which means I've recorded the video footage, but I haven't got round to actually compiling the video. Cats are playing now. I very rarely do anything yellow. If I do them yellow, normally once I make a video, I make the video. I've got a new one now, which is a light purple, and that means that the video's in progress. Doing the Lancaster and the bus, I'm finding myself doing a small stage, and then I can't go anymore until stuff is dry. Let me show you an example. This is what I'm working on at the moment. This is the side of the bus, and I've had to glue these window frames in, and I've had to do them quite specifically. As you can see, they're recessed on this side but flat on that side, and I've had little chips come out of the wood. So yesterday I glued those in just before work, and then I've left it because it needs to set overnight. And then this morning, just after I finished this video, where these little chips of wood have come out, I'm going to be putting filler in there, and then tonight or tomorrow I'm going to sand it down, and then I need to paint it, and then I've got to wait. And this is the other stage of the bus. I've started to paint it. Now it looks absolutely terrible, and there's a really good reason for that. I've put 2 coats of brown on that, and then what I'm finding is, I don't know if it's the paint or if it's me, but if I now paint over that, it will it'll lift the bottom layer up. So what I've done is I painted this yesterday just before work, and I'm going to put a little light coat of matte varnish, or matte or glass, probably a matte varnish, and then that will seal that paint in, and then I'll put another couple of layers of brown over the top, so it won't lift the brown from underneath. And I'm just going to have to do how many coats it takes. I'm going to do like 2 coats. I'll try this bottom bit. I'll paint a bit on the bottom, but if I find it's lifting the paint, it's going to have to be varnished. And when you varnish, you then have to leave it overnight. So to do 4 coats of paint, which this paint is not unrealistic to do that, it's literally going to take 4 days. And so I'm finding a lot of, so at the moment bus stage 11 is a light purple. Next, once I've made the video, it goes dark green. Again, it's quite a standout colour, so it kind of catches your attention. So it's telling me, I can see I've got loads of dark green, which is videos that need to be uploaded. And then once the video is uploaded, it goes to light green, which is a nice soft colour. It blends in, it doesn't really bother you too much, and that tells me the video has been uploaded to YouTube. So that's how I do it. Now, it sounds really amazing. It's not. Anyone who knows spreadsheets knows. It's one of those things, isn't it? You know or you don't. I don't know if you remember back in the 90s, people who knew computers could charge an astronomical hourly rate for their services for doing jobs that were really, really easy, because there were so many people who didn't know. And the ones who did know, it was such an easy job, wasn't it? I mean, I've been paid I've been paid 50 quid in the past for setting up some old lady's AOL account, and I felt I was robbing her, but that's the going rate. And the reason she paid me 50 quid was because she'd been quoted a lot more from somebody else. I think they wanted like a 40 quid call out charge and then 30 quid an hour, minimum of 2 hours or something like that. So to be honest with you, taking 50 quid off an old lady in that case was doing her a favour, wasn't it? And she made a nice cup of tea as well, I will say that, with biscuits, jammy dodgers. All in Norfolk, if an old lady gives you tea or coffee, it's always with jammy dodgers or pink wafers. Always, it's the law, and if you refuse it, you will highly offend her. So yeah, that's me Monday then. So this coming Monday is going to be issue 39 of the ET. I haven't written down on my spreadsheet what we specifically did, so I can't remember. It's as simple as that. Last week on the Tuesday we did the Moonclad shooters. Little tiny figures, not my favourite figures. I like the bigger figures myself, but you know, with any Warhammer armour you need your big figures and you need your little figures. But that was stage 2, and I really enjoyed that. That's given me the figure painting bug, which I will come to a little bit later. So this coming Tuesday we will finish them off. Give me a second. Here is a mini spoiler for you, if I don't drop them. This camera is terrible, I do apologise, but that's a little spoiler for you. They're far from finished. The way the magazine goes is you get a figure, you paint a little bit, you get some paints, and then you'll get some more figures, then you get some more paints. So they won't actually be finished until stage 80, which is the last stage. Which reminds me, I actually received this week the last 2 issues of that series, so I now have every single magazine. Wednesday, so Wednesday we did, I put stage 14 primer. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. So I've just put stage 14 primer, which I think means I was just spraying all of the primer, of course, because I'm so far ahead on it compared to you guys. Yes, so if you are watching my bus series and you are looking at that, you're going to be going, bloody hell, because there's a hell of, I think I'm about 4 videos ahead of you guys, what I've made and what I've actually published. So I think we're going to be, we've just primed it. This coming Wednesday we're going to be painting it, and then the week after we'll do the planking. I'll warn you guys, that planking video is ever so long. I'm trying to get all of my videos down to a reasonable length, and the best I can do is like an hour and a half. Right, so Gauntlet on the Thursday. So issue 75, 76 just came out. No, that was, do you know what, I've got this all wrong. I've told you what's next week last week. Guys, I'm going to have to start again. So Monday you've just had the ET. Let me see my spreadsheet. It works if you use it properly. So user error. So ET came out Monday. This coming Monday we are doing Robocop 45 and 46, which is the pistol and the pelvis 1 plus the premium base. So it's technically a triple issue. Now, premium base, I hear you say. Yes, I didn't know I got the premium option on the Robocop. I did notice the price went up, but I thought the price went up because partway through the series they said, well, we're ever so sorry, we've had to review the prices, which they did actually do. So I was already paying £1. So anyone who's collecting the Robocop and is paying for it and does not have premium, are paying the same amount I was paying for the early stages. But I have got a base. Now I've got the base, I'm not going to knock it down to normal, and to be honest with you, the base looks pretty fancy actually. So it's not a regret to get the premium. If you guys remember, with the Gauntlet, you get a base with the actual magazines, and then I've got the premium base because I thought something with a rounded bottom, it needs a base. So I've got the base, and I've kind of semi-regretted it. It's about 60% regret, because obviously we get the base with it. However, it is a nice base in all fairness. So it's a partial regret. The Robocop I didn't buy. I didn't think I got premium. I didn't think it needed it. It's a model that stands up on its own. Whether we get a base with the basic issues, I do not know. But I've got the base now, and I'm not regretting it because it does. The actual base looks like it's going to be a big octagon with OCP logo in the middle, and I think that'll look pretty cool. So that's the Robocop. So last week, yes, so you've already seen those figures then for issue 3. So this coming Tuesday, you're going to see the Night Judicator for the Warhammer. And spoiler alert, it's nice. That's actually a preview of the next week. I'm actually filming the week after at the moment, because we have to paint these bad boys. And I'm really not enjoying this. I've got one stage of these done, and the paint, it's this paint. Guys, if anyone does fantasy figures, Wraithbone. Right, I think this is a new formula. I've said it before. I think Citadel have changed their formula. They claim they haven't changed the formula, but I've seen a few YouTube's videos of people who say, yeah, I think they've changed the formula. That Wraithbone is terrible. It really is awful. I'm persevering, but it's taken me 4 coats to do that, and I'm still not happy with it. The only reason I'm stopping doing it is because the actual main bit, which is where I'm not happy with the fur, where I'm not happy, is going to be painted over a different colour. So I've just gone, I'm leaving it. So yeah, those paints I'm not happy with. Right, so on Wednesday, this coming video, so you've already seen the bus being painted. So you're going to see the planking. So we are going to... So that sneeze I thought I was going to do earlier on, it's just come then. So we have, you will see me, I've put, this is 2 stages ahead, but you'll see that planking go in. And I can tell you guys, this bus, we've had many weeks, and each week I've gone, it's not really progressed much. It's all prep work, it's sanding, it's this, that and the other, and then slapping a bit of paint on. And then I slapped a few planks on, and I'm like, wow, this looks fantastic. So it's just took that little, it's a little bit like a long jumper. They take these 10 steps and then they do the jump, and it's the jump that's where we all go, yes, that's fantastic. But had they not taken those running steps beforehand, they would never have been able to do the jump. I love my analogies, by the way. So Gauntlet, we have just done part 6 of the base. Do you know what, as I was saying about the base, I can remember a comment from Peter Webster that made reference to the base, so I thought it was odd that we haven't done it. So Thursday there is nothing. Please excuse me, I'm going to smoke, I don't care. So there's nothing on Thursday. The reason there is nothing on Thursday is because we are now missing 2 issues. Issue 70, which is the this part of the Gauntlet, and now we're missing issue 77, which is 3rd part of the Ring Finger. This one, I think it's this one. I'm sure it's that one. So we've done the tip, but we've done this bit. Well, how can we carry on with the finger if we haven't got the middle bit? So I've told them, I said I'm suspending my build until it turns up. And now that might come next month. Now the way I see it is issue 70 has been AWOL for a good 3-4 months. So I reckon issue 77 is going to be the same length of time. That's if the issue 70 turns up. So rest assured, guys, I do not want to waste my money. Gauntlet will be coming back to the channel. When it comes back, it's purely down to fan home. So Friday and Saturday, this is where life now gets really confusing. So on Friday, I have been doing the Hong Kong models Lancaster as a comparison with the Hachette. Now I have also managed, oh excuse me, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sniff while I was on camera. I hate when other people do it. So I managed to get the Hachette Lancaster. Now I had parts up to issue 34, but it was built up to issue 21. I think it's issue 21. So what I've done, I don't like to start a series part way into the build. So I wanted to do a recap. So Friday, this coming Friday is, let me get my dates right, we are doing stage 18 of the Hong Kong build. Let me just get my instructions. I've just put stage 18. So stage 18 is putting two halves of fuselage together. I'm sure, I thought we already... No. Right, so last week we had the two halves of the fuselage. We made one bit, we did the other bit. I say halves, one's 3 times longer than the other. So we did the front, we did the back. This coming week, last week, we put the two together. And we did all the sanding and everything to get all the seam lines looking reasonable. What I'm now doing for the next 2 videos, which is going to be 3 stages, told you it's getting confusing, didn't I? We are going to do that in reverse. So instead of painting and gluing, we're going to glue the two halves together and then we're going to paint it to see which way round would have been easier. I have finished the two halves. This is how far ahead I've managed to get myself. So this is the one that you've already seen. As you can see, I'm sorry the lighting is terrible. Okay, and as a double episode, so this is the two halves of, this is what you're going to see next week, this coming week. These two halves are going together. What you're then going to see in the next issue, the one after, it is a double issue. I've done the insides. Doesn't look as exciting as the first half because there's a lot more colour on the other half, but if it helps, no there isn't. If it does help, I went a little bit too heavy on the dry brush there, so you've got a little bit of colour there, but shh. So now the reason I've done it as a double episode is I did the front, sorry guys, I'm trying to figure this out. So I did the front starboard and the rear starboard as 2 issues. So I thought that when it comes to doing the port, that should really be a double episode as well. Plus it then gives me a little opportunity to do a little slight catch up with the Hachette. So that's been done. Now coming on Saturday for 7 weeks only, it's a cross between a show and tell and a build. As you know, the Hachette Lancaster, a lot of it is gluing. I have disassembled what I've got as far as I can, and then we've gone through it over the course of 7 weeks. This is why I'm doing double episodes with the Hachette. So when it all finishes, and we get to the 29th and the 30th of October, we will have issue 21 of the Hong Kong Lancaster, and then the following day we'll have 19, 20, 21, because I'm show and telling 3 issues at a time. That will then take us into the Christmas break. We start the new year on issue 22, which is actually going to be a double issue. And then after the new year, I'm really going to focus on trying to, whatever Hachette has given us, try to build that with the Hong Kong. It's not always going to be possible. So for example, Hachette has given us the propellers. Well, the propellers for Hong Kong, as you can see, is issue 64. But I can do that, so we'll go forward and do issue 64. Now, the great thing about the propellers is with Hachette, they're giving us... Excuse me, I'm filming! If you don't mind, thank you very much. When he's chasing her, she always runs into the craft room or wherever I am. It's almost like Shadow. Excuse me. So I thought I'd better mute that before I shout at the cat. I actually had a fallout where I felt awful. So in a swoop of like 1-2 minutes, I noticed that she's kicked the water bowl over. She's got this problem with kicking the water bowl over. But she's dragged it into the living room and she's knocked it over, so there's a whole bowl of water in the carpet. Then when I went to pick the bowl up, I noticed that she's been scratching at the carpet. It's all come out of the, you know, I don't know technical names. So when you have 2 rooms that are carpeted, along the door frame you have that metal strip which holds, is it carpet gripper or something like that? She's pulled all the carpet out of that and just shredded it. I'm about to move out. So I'm just hoping my landlord will go, oh, that's all right, that's normal wear and tear. And then I find out where he's been jumping on my vegetable rack, it's all damaged. So I'm shouting at them and I'm like, go away, I don't want to know you anymore. And then every time they came near me, I was pushing them away. And the more I'm pushing them away, the more they're coming up to me as though they're going, we're ever so sorry, we love you so much. And I'm going, go away. And then about half an hour later, I felt really, really bad, and I'm just sitting there cuddling them. So I can't. I feel awful. I feel really guilty when I'm angry with people. I'll shout at someone, probably justified, and then half an hour later, I'm like, I'm really sorry for shouting at you. Oh, I shouldn't shout at you. So yeah. So the Lancaster, it's going to be quite confusing, perhaps until Christmas. Once we get after the new year, the way I'm going to do it is on a Friday we will have a release come out at 6 o'clock, and that will be the Hachette build, and I'm actually properly doing it from issue 22. I've been buying the issues from the shop. Let me see if I can find the issues. No, I can't. Oh, there we go. So I've been doing shop orders, and this is me organising how to do the build. So this is 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 is currently on its way to me right now. So I don't know how, I haven't organised those because I haven't got them. So yes, I was saying about the propellers. So the great thing is, I've got an opportunity to do some catch up with the I've had a few show and tell issues, and I'm going to be doing things with the Hachette, with the Hong Kong build that I cannot do with the Hachette, like the figures. So stage with Hachette, each propeller you've either received or just about to receive a second propeller. I'm not 100% happy with it, actually. The reason I'm not 100% happy is your first propeller that comes with a full priced issue is just a propeller. The issue that you paid, issue 1, which you paid what, $2.99 for? Let me have a look on my fancy spreadsheet. So issue 1 was £1.99. You got the entire propeller and you got some extra bits. So you're actually paying £9 more to receive less. Now, I know I always say you've got to look at the full build, but if I'm noticing that, somebody else is going to notice it and they're going to go, huh, paid £11 for this propeller. But saying that, well, you can't get issue 1. The smart cookies out there would have bought, see, I've got a few arguments. So I'm on the Build the Lancaster Facebook group, and I'm having a bit of I rubbed one guy up the wrong way, quite by act. Well, I knew I'd end up doing it, and I pre-warned him. I come across as sarcastic sometimes, and we've had a bit of a fallout, and now he thinks I'm accusing him of things, and he is accusing me of things. But he's a little bit of an attention seeker, I don't mind saying. Now, he's very good with scale models. He sounds far better than I am, right? But this is his first part work build, and I think it's fair to say I have a bit more experience and a little bit more knowledge. Now, you get issue 1 of the Lancaster. It comes with a propeller. Now let's apply a little bit of logic here. I know Partworks drag things out. I also know, by the fact that a Lancaster has 4 engines, I think it's safe to assume it's going to need 4 propellers. So what I would have been inclined to do, had I built this from the start, I would have gone out and bought 4 issue 1s, made up 4 propellers, and then when the issue for the 3 issues for the propellers come out, don't bother buying them. Just send them back if you're subscribed, or if you're buying them from the shop, just don't buy those issues. That's £27 you would have saved by doing that. Now, again, I know this was going to happen. The first so many issues are no longer available in the shop. We all know, anyone who's done any part works from Harshette, we all know after about 4 or 5 weeks you cannot get issue 1. There'll be people out there that bought loads of issues to chuck onto eBay for 20 odd quid. I ain't paying 20 odd quid for a £1.99 issue. So that's the smart cookie way of doing it. So what I've decided to do is, when we get to the propeller, I have earmarked that one in. So that is coming out stages 17 and 18. So this week we've got 13 coming out, which is stage 18. Next week we've got 14 and 15, which is stages 14 and 16. Gets confusing, doesn't it? Then I'm about to do the weathering. Now, question for you guys. I've already answered this, but I'm asking you. I need to weather the inside of the fuselage. In your opinion, would that be, could I call that 1 issue and it helps me, could I call that two stages? This is 1 stage, this is another, and help me catch up on the Harshette? Or would it be, because I'm doing the same thing in 1 big area, would it be a single issue and that doesn't help me catch up? I have already answered that question, but oh, I've just realised something. Who wants a thrashing first? Excuse me once, I might have to do a cut. Come here. I'm just going to wait for one of the cats to run past me. Shadow! Come here. Come here and be thrashed. I need something small and harmless that I can throw at them. Right, they're playing. They're going to go and kill each other somewhere else. Sorry. My title of my videos always says cat interruptions and destruction. That's exactly what I'm getting today. So, once I've done the weathering, that video will come out 8th of November. That's how far ahead I am. On the 15th of November, I'm going to be doing the propellers. Now, as you can see from the instructions, it says ×4. So I'm going to make up 4 propellers. As a scale model, making 4 propellers up is pretty easy. And then you got to paint them. Well, it's just as easy to paint 4 as to paint 1. So I'm actually going to call that a double issue, which then means it helps me catch up with the Hachette. Now, as I say, the Lancaster, the Hachette Lancaster, I think we've got the propellers coming round about issue. Gotcha. You will now have forced cuddles. Okay, and then you can't destroy each other. We'll wait for Shadow to calm down. Yes, you look at me like that, Shadow, but you caused this. Yeah, there's the eyes of someone who doesn't want to be there. She's purring because she loves the cuddles, but she doesn't want to be held. You're going to calm down now. You're breathing really heavy. You sound like you're going to have a heart attack. You're going to calm down. Let's go, girl. Look at her eyes. They're huge. You're breathing so heavy. I think she's scared. I think he plays so hard. She does actually get a bit scared. Because he does hurt her sometimes. Because he's that much bigger. Anyway, I digress. I'm doing well. I've only done 41 minutes. I try and get these down to half an hour, but I never get to less than an hour. So I'm going to be doing my propellers. I'm calling it a double issue, but the Hachette, we've just about to get. I'm trying to find it. It returns on. I think issue 46. I've got a feeling it's either issue 43 or 46 is a propeller. So what that means is that in the future, when we get the 3rd and the 4th propeller, I can now actually work on something else. And if I've got nothing else to work on, I've got another 4 figures to paint. So it's all stuff I can do. Now, I kind of paused myself as I was talking earlier. The reason being is I'm talking about doing the weathering as a double issue. But then for stage 21, I'm doing the Navigator, this is the pilot. Which I'd done a long time ago. So next figure to do will be the Navigator. The reason I'm doing the Navigator is because I've got things that I can't really start. I think the best time to start on will be the new year. But I'm doing that as a single stage, whereas the pilot I did as 2 stages, so I could have split that in half. So let me spoil everything for you between now and the new year. We've got stage 18 coming next week, next week. What is it now? The 20th. So we've just had stage 17. We've got stage 18. The following week will be assembling. So that's where I'm up to. The following week will be the weathering. Then we'll be doing so the weathering, and then we'll be doing the propellers, which will be 2 stages. Then I have I'm going to have a nice easy issue just a week before Christmas. I'm trying to do a little issue. I'm cheating really, so I'm going to create an issue that's really short, and that will give me far more time to paint the Navigator. I have purchased a power supply. And I'm going to show the power supply. It sounds very boring, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to hook it up to the electronics, because having a battery box is a bit of a pain in the arse. And then I'm going to make up a wooden jig. which is going to be a bit of a cross, and it's going to be a representation of the Lancaster, and we're going to test all of the electronics using the power supply, and that will be a double episode, and that will be nice and simple to set up. I could probably get that done in a 5-minute video, and then that gives me far more time to do the navigator, and then start it. Lancaster returns on the 10th of January, which is actually going to be a control panel and stage. Yes, so I'll be show and telling the instrument panel. It's an air scale one, and I will be offering you the chance to have your own. The reason being is I have one already, and I lost it, and I looked everywhere for it, and in the end I gave up and I bought a new one, and that's on its way to me now. But I found the one I thought I'd lost. What I'd done is I have these trays of models that I'm working on, and I thought I'd put it in the Lancaster one. Don't ask me how. I'd actually put it in with the bus, with the wooden bus. Apparently Lancaster display panel goes into there, so that's why I'd lost it. I'd put it in the wrong place. When I sat down and worked on the bus, I'm like, oh, there it is. And they'd been ever so good to me. It's at 101 Hobbies, super hobby. They've been really good, because I've also got something else which I don't want to tell you about yet because I'm not ready to show you. But I actually looked at the pieces. I bought them months ago. Excuse me. I've got one of those sneezes that goes away. So I bought something months and months ago, and I only got round. I kept it in the bag, and I've kept it in the little box for Lancaster. It's not been opened, and then I recently opened it just to have a look at it, and I noticed that it's been damaged. Now I'll be absolutely honest with you, I don't know if I damaged it or if it's damaged in postage. And what it is, I'm not making it cryptic. I'm not making it a game for you to guess what it is. But there's 8 little pieces. It's 8 things. Each one is made up of 3 pieces. So you've got 24 little pieces, and they're made of brass, and they've got crushed because brass is quite. Now, not all of them have been damaged. So what I've done is I've said to them, it's been damaged, and they didn't ask me to return them. They just said, okay, fine, we'll send some new ones out. So the way I see it is, if some of the ones that arrive are damaged, it's okay, because between the 2 sets, as long as I can make 8, so I'll have 16, but if 8 of them are damaged, I've still got 8. So yeah, that's that. So from January, I'm going to be doing the display panel, and then I will be working on the cockpit. And the main reason, well, there's 2 reasons I want to work on the cockpit. That is the start of the Hong Kong build. But I really want to crack on, and the parts of the Hachette Lancaster that we've already built, I want to build on the Hong Kong. So I'm trying to do a comparison, so let's have the 2 things to compare with. And I'm finding I don't like the word cheat. To me, there isn't such thing as cheating when it comes to scale models. If you find a new for example, airbrushing, if you brush paint, and you sit there and with a brush and you spend hours painting something, and I come along with an airbrush and I achieve the exact same results with my airbrush that you do with a paintbrush, but I can get it done in 1/10 of the time, am I cheating? My argument is, no, I'm not. It's a tool. If you use a tool, it's like saying, oh, if we had to fix a puncture on our car, and you removed those nuts by hand and I used a spanner, am I cheating? And the answer is no, I'm not cheating, I'm using a tool. So that's how I see it. However, I've come across a situation where some of the detail on the Hachette build is there in front of me, and obviously these instructions for the Hong Kong are all in black and white, and it's very difficult to see the exact detail. So I'm actually in a position to use the Hachette as reference for the Hong Kong. So that begs the question, am I cheating? We are doing, you know, I've called this series Hachette versus Hong Kong. Am I cheating by using the Hachette as a reference material in order to help me do a better job than Hachette has done? I don't know. I don't know where I stand on that. I think maybe not. To do one of my famous analogies, let's say you've got a football match. Your team is playing, I won't say Manchester United because that's going to bring in a lot of jokes. So your team's drawn Liverpool in the cup, and then you concede an early goal because one of their players has done a little trick, and you look at him and you think, oh, he's just done that little trick and he scored a goal. So shall we try that little trick and maybe we'll score a goal? They won't expect it. Now what you've done there is you've used Liverpool as reference material to learn and then do a better job than Liverpool. And if it works, it works. Personally, I call it learning. I don't know. So yeah, that's that. Right, so then that brings us to next Sunday, which is going to be the next channel update. Now, days off. This is why I'm filming this early in the morning. I am now about to begin 3 days off. I'm happy, not happy. My boss has given me so much time off. Will you just bear with me a sec? I'm going to do something I don't really like doing on camera, but I really need to do it. Oh, I bet I sound a million times better now, don't I? My nose, I think where I was sneezing, it's blocked my nose. Obviously, it moves things in the body into a position, into eject position. So I'm just obliged by ejecting. Yeah, so, I mean, I was supposed to be doing a 5-day week this week. I think I was supposed to have Tuesday and Wednesday off. And what he's done is he's changed my duties to cover a London. So I had to go down to London Tuesday, Wednesday. So he gave me Monday off instead of working. Quite natural because I'm on late, so I can't do a late followed by an early. So he's had to give me the day off. But then he's given me Saturday and Sunday off as well. So he's taken 3 days work off me to give me 2. So I'm not too happy about that, but then again it gives me more time off. So next week I've got split days off. I've got Monday and Thursday off, and because I've got the Monday off, Monday's the first day of the week, so that follows 2 days off from this week, last week, tomorrow, so that gives me a 3-day weekend. Then I'm off on Thursday. Then on Saturday I'm on holiday, but I'm on holiday, well, I'm on holiday for the last 2 days of 1 week and the first 5 days of the next. However, the second week of my holiday, where I've got Monday to Friday off, I'm on a week where I've got the weekend off. So I go into my holiday, as soon as I finish my holiday, I'm then on 2 days off. In fact, actually, it's my long weekend. So every now and again we have a long weekend, and what that is you'll have Saturday, Sunday off 1 week, and then you'll have Monday, Tuesday the next week off. So it gives you 4 days off. So I'm on 7 days holiday, immediately followed by a long weekend. I come back for one day, and then I've got a very long weekend off for Telford. So in a nutshell, once I get to Saturday, in 15 days I'm only going to work one day. Wow. So at the beginning I was going to say I had a little plan. I had so many days off the next 3 weeks, and I had plans to make these videos, and it was kind of working and it wasn't. I've got a little bit further ahead than I planned on the Lancaster and the bus, but then I haven't done other videos that I planned to do. But those videos were the mystery and the Airfix kits. So what the plan is today, the next 3 days, if I can get, I think I can finish the next bus episode off. Let me just check what the next stages are. I think I know. I think the next stages are actually quite easy. It's one of those ones where you're just doing little bits. So I think I can knock out 2 videos in the next 3 days for the bus. The Lancaster, definitely do at least. Well, I think I can get 3 done, because I've got to get this fuselage weathering done. I've got to get the propellers done, and then the power supply. In fact, I might even get 4 done. So if I can come out of this weekend with those bus videos done, then that means all I need to produce between now and Christmas is 2 Robocop videos. The Robocop's on its way, but it hasn't. I paid for it. It's been dispatched. It hasn't arrived yet. And then I've got 3 Warhammer videos to do. One is painting this, which I've already started. One is an assembly of a model, and then I've got the painting video. The assemblies are really easy to make. That's almost cheating, where I go, here you go guys, here's the magazine, flick through the pages, put the model together, quick bit of painting. And when I paint now, I put things in a queue. I have a little note and I say, this needs painting, this needs painting. So when I then get something else, so if I decide I want to do a part on the Lancaster that needs priming black, oh, I've got these figures that need priming as well, and then I've got that needs doing, so I'll do a big batch job, and I found that a lot easier. So basically I've got, I think by the end of this weekend, by Tuesday afternoon, I'm on lates next week. I'm on permanent lates now. Permanent lates work so well for me because for some reason I still get up fairly early. I've got 4 or 5 hours until I need to go to work, so I'll sit down, I'll do 2 hours hobby time, and it works really well. Whereas when I'm on days, I'm always tired when I finish work, whether I finish work at 1 in the afternoon or 1 in the morning. But if I get up early, I go to work, I'm tired, I go to bed, and I end up sitting in bed for about 12 hours watching YouTube. But I have no time for hobby. So yes, I am waffling on a bit. Right, so also new series starting soon. I don't know when it's going to start, and it's going to be a model painting, figure painting. So I have been in contact with a company called Forged Myth, something like that. I'll do the full video on it. I am starting a subscription box. It will come monthly, and you will get a number of figures depending on the level of subscription. What I've done is they have 3 levels, so you can either buy the boxes as a one-off, or you can buy them as a subscription. If you buy them as a subscription, you get a little discount. If you buy them as a one-off, you obviously pay full price. 2 of the boxes I paid full price, 1 I've paid for as a subscription. So what I plan to do before Christmas, I don't know if I'll have time to paint them, but I will show you the boxes, and I'd like to do them over 3 videos. I'd like to show you one box one week, one box the next, one box the week after, and then if I get them early enough, let me have a look. What did I say? 7 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, if they come by next week, I can actually start that as a proper subscription box. So I'll do one box that I'm buying outright. The next week I'll do another box that I'm buying outright. That leaves me 4 weeks to do the actual subscription box. And I plan to do the show and tell in week 1. We'll do the base coats. The base coats are one model, 1 week. No, we'll do the base coats. Then we'll do the finishing off on the one model, and we'll do the finishing off on the other. If it's a 5-week month, we got a bit of a problem. There'll be a bit of a break. But what I'm thinking about is buying a terrain box as well occasionally. So hopefully that will be good. Basically what it is this guy is in contact with some good miniature designers who do 3D print files. He then obtains a license with them to reproduce those models, and that's the models he's chosen for that month. And then he can then buy each figure on his website, but the figures that you get every month will be brand new additions to his website. So you'll never lose out, guys. If you bought the smaller subscription box, and then you get to see what's in the biggest box, and you think, oh, I wish I'd bought that, you can just go onto his website and buy it. And I'm trying to get you guys a discount code. I'm trying to get my own. I can get you a discount quite easily, but I can't get you mine. I want a discount. I want to be able to say, guys, go to this website, enter penny 20 in the box to get 20% off. And I want my own discount code. So I'm trying to negotiate with him without coming across as an entitled influencer. I don't want to be one of these people that goes, oh, give me a free meal and I'll take a photo of it and I'll put it on my Instagram and you will get lots of customers, because I don't think I'm big enough to do that, and I wouldn't want to do that anyway. So yes, so there's going to be some figures. Now I'll probably do the figures on a Sunday, because that's the only place I've got space. So that means technically I've got 2 videos for figures coming out. When the Warhammer finishes, actually I could do it on a Tuesday. I could move the Warhammer to say 4 o'clock, or no, I'll do the myth box 8 o'clock. And then when the Warhammer finishes, because we're now, let's say for argument's sake, we're on issue 40. We're not actually. We won't get to issue 40 till about February, and that's the halfway point. Even if I did 1 issue a week, which I do 2, it's going to be another 1.5 years at least until I finish that. And then they've just started Combat Patrol, which is a 40k thing. I don't like 40k. I'm not into 40k. I can't get excited about it. Personal opinion, other opinions vary. So I'm not doing Combat Patrol. I can't see any point in painting figures that don't thrill me at all. But it's going to be a good 1.5 years, which is about 80 weeks, isn't it? So now what Hachette have done is they brought a 40k part work out, then they brought an Age of Sigmar one, then they brought a 40k one out, then they brought the I keep forgetting the name of it, Stormbringer. Now they brought a 40k one out. So the big question I've got is, when this Combat Patrol finishes, will they then bring out another Age of Sigmar one? If they do, I will be all over it, because it's, well, will I be all over it? Should I now pay £10? Let me just check the price. It's £8.99 at the moment. it's £8.99. We're getting figures which are cheaper, admittedly. When they give us a sprue of figures, if we get like a rank and file unit, it's like 20 quid's worth of figures there. And even if you get like this one here, that's 20-30 quid's worth of no, it's about 20 quid's worth of figure there for £8.99. But when you get a paint episode, you're getting crap paint. It's coming out as crap, and it's a brand that I don't use. The only reason I'm using it on the figures is because it is part of the build. So if they do bring another Age of Sigmar one out, I think I'll paint the figures full. Even though they'll say do this, that and the other, I think I'll just paint the figures in full. I won't bother following the instructions. I'll just say, right, I've got this figure. The magazine tells us to do this, that and the other, and then I'm going to do an optional carry on with this, and bang, that's that done. But the question now is, it'll obviously be, let's call it a tenner by the time it comes out. Do I spend 10 quid a week on a magazine, or do I focus my attention on, I can't remember the prices, but I think this Myth Forged box is costing me something like 15 quid a month. So 15 quid a month, divide that by 4, that's 4 quid a week. Why should I spend 10 quid on a magazine when I can get figures for 4 quid a month? So guys, I have waffled on far too long, as I always do. That is me completely up to date. So as I say, next week I'm on a 1, 2, 3 day week, but that's because I've got 2 days holiday, so there's lots going to get done. It's such a shame because I was going to be doing a live. I wanted to do some lives. Oh, this is the bit I forgot to tell you. So I have bought a little bit of paint. I have bought some Army Painter paint, which I don't see as being the same as scale model paints. There is some of it. Okay. So I'm really impressed with the Army Painter range. I used to be I used to hate Army. I tried Army Painter paint in the past and I absolutely hated it. It was crap. There are some of their effect paints, and underneath, all piled up neatly, there's more paints. You can't see them because I can't tilt the box, but I wasn't impressed with them before, and they brought this new range out called Fanatics, and it's not 100% perfect, but everyone who's been reviewing it has been raving about it. In all fairness, most of the paints were all right, but apparently they've really sorted the metallics out. So what I have done is I managed to get hold of the entire range of 216 bottles of paint. So that's the paints I'm going to be using for figures. Oh, I've got some more here that I couldn't fit in the box. So quite happy about them actually, because I bought them from Germany and they were about £150 cheaper. Still 500 odd quid. But then as soon as I bought them, I thought, oh no, customs charges, because we're not in the EU anymore. And I don't understand what's happened, because when I bought the Magic Scale modelling, I'm going to check the prices actually, because I can't remember. Right, so the Magic Scale modelling cost me £258 for all of the electronics, of which £45 of that was import tax, so it was just over 200 quid. all of these paints has cost me round about, I paid for it in euros and PayPal did the conversion for me, so I can't remember the exact price, but it's 450. It was close to 500 euros. So I was expecting the import tax to be at least 100 quid. Parcel Force, I checked the tracker, and so I rang Parcel Force and said, I understand I got a customs charge to pay. They went, yeah, that'll be £36. And I'm like, okay, it's less than, so it should be at least double, but I just said, look guys, take my money before you change your mind. So yeah, so that was a good little deal, that was. I was really happy with that. And this is the problem. When you buy sets, you're going to get sets cheaper. But if you already own some of the paints, then if you buy a set, you're going to end up with duplicate paints. The best time to get a set is when you don't have any, because then you'll get no duplicates. But these Army Painter ones, you can actually buy the sets. You can buy the greens, you can buy the reds. But let me show you why I'm really impressed with them. So I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not a beginner painter. So we haven't got round to it on the Warhammer yet. But I have mentioned it, that I'm just pulling out a range. So what Citadel do, you have a base paint, you have 2 layer paints, and sometimes you have an edge paint. And what you'll do is, let me pull one out at random. I say random, I can't pull one out at random. It's the only one I've got is my Wraithbone. So this Wraithbone is a base paint. So that's the darkest colour. They have what they call a triad. So let's say you put black down. A black will be a base paint, and you get that, right, and you put it in and you paint it all over. Then you paint your mid-tones, leaving all the black in the recesses, and that's a layer paint. So you still want that black to show through, but you're lightening it. Then you'll get another layer paint which is lighter than the grey, so it might be, say, a medium grey, and then you hit all the highlights, so you get this transition of colour, and that's called a triad. So you'll do it like, say, you'll get a corn red, you'll get an evil sun scarlet, and a fire bright orange. I can't remember the names of the colours, and that's what's called a triad. So what Army Painter has done is they've expanded on this. Now this triad system, it's a very beginner thing. If you've never painted before, you don't know how to do the colours, you just follow the Citadel triad system, and it's fantastic. As you get more experience, you learn to ignore the triad system and you start to blend the paint. So with the example I gave with the black, what you'll now do is you'll do the black, then you'll mix the black 50-50 with the dark grey to make a very dark grey. Then you go the dark grey, then you mix the dark grey with the medium grey. Right, so you've now got 5 set of triads, and then you can perhaps push that even further. And then with the wash system, it gives you a big scope. Now, a lot of the expert painters, they talk about warm reds, cool reds, warm desaturated blue, this, that and the other, and it confuses new painters. So for example, if I picked up 2 greens, I don't think I've got 2 greens. Right, so here we go. Right, so here we have 2 colours. We have violet vermilion, and we have got blood chalice. Right, can you use those 2 colours for highlights? Let me explain yes or no. So as an expert painter, obviously the answer is yes, you can. But each of these have got three things about them. So I've picked I'm going to pick this one. Right, this is Emerald Forest. Now, Emerald Forest is just the name they've given it. Right, now I like names that reflect what it is. So if they called it Dark Skaven Fir, unless you know about Skavens, you have no idea what colour that is. It could be a reddy brown, it could be blue, you know. So the name actually means nothing, but that's just really a name. This name I like, Emerald Forest. So you know it's going to be a green, don't you? This one is Vivid Volt. What the hell is Vivid Volt? Vivid means bright. What's Volt? This one's called Leafy Green. That's a good name. We know what a leaf is. We know what green is. This one is called Electric Lime. That's not a bad name. Lime is a green. Electric tends to be bright, doesn't it? This is Rainforest. I don't like that name. Well, it's probably going to be a green or a blue or a brown, isn't it? Rainforest. And this one's called Afterglow. Not a great name, in my opinion. Now, what they've then done is, if you look on the side of the label, this side, you will see they've called it Vivid Green. Now, all of those 6 paints that I've... No, they haven't. Oh, you're a pain in the arse. Right. So they've grouped... They've given it a generic name. So, Leafy Green now becomes Yellowish Green. Okay, so that's a much better name. Electric Lime has become Brilliant Yellowish Green. Right, but here's the bit that I think is fantastic. So they've grouped them, so instead of looking on that side, you now look on that side. You see this little graph at the bottom, and you'll see that this is Vibrant Green, and there's a little dot right near the bottom. So there's six bars. So this belongs to a set called Vibrant Greens, and it's the darkest one. This one, this is Vibrant Greens, but it's the next one up. This is Vibrant Green, the next one up, etc, etc. Now, if I can get this done properly, watch what happens when I put them all in order. Can you see they go from dark to light? So now, when you want to do your triad, you can now use this one as the recesses. This is the mid, this is the light one. Or perhaps you want to use that one as your deep tone and use that as your lighter tone. Right, etc, etc. Perhaps you want to do these ones. These are the brightest ones. But it gets even cleverer. Instead of doing those 3, I can only hold 3 at a time. So instead of doing, let me find this box. This is going to make life easier. So this is your set of 6. So maybe instead of doing a set of 3, maybe you want to do that one, and that one. Yeah, the jump is even. And they say, because these will all go together, they say you could actually use that as your dark tone, that as your mid tone, and that as your light tone. And that's why I like these paints, apart from the fact the paints are really good. Now, I only got them last night, and all I've done is sorted them, and the first thing I've had to do is go out and buy some storage cases for them, because I've got nowhere to put them, which is a bit of a shame, because once I move house in the new year, I'm going to be putting them in my proper wooden storage, my EMBA storage units, but there's a good couple of week turnaround on those, so I'm being impatient. So what I want to do is I want to get them all into these storage boxes as quickly as I can, and then, like I say, I'll sort things out in the new year. So that's the new paint range. Hopefully I've not wasted my money, but I mean, I say I've watched so many different YouTubers, and one person said a few negative things about it, and I think it's more to do with the glazing, which I will be doing glazes, but I think because they're very heavily pigmented paints, in order to use them as a glaze you've got to heavily thin them, and if you heavily thin with water, the paint splits. And I think the way to get round that is to use thinners rather than I always use thinners anyway. I haven't got any to hand, bear with me. Yeah, I've moved it. I've got my thinners. I have a little dropper bottle. As you know, I make my own thinners. Now when I'm doing scale models, whoops, I've just shot white spirit everywhere. Lovely. So I haven't even got my thinners because my thinners is over by my spray booth. So when I'm doing scale models, what I make to thin my paints with, I call that thinners. When I'm doing figure painting, I call it magic water. It's the same thing, we just give it a different name because where you're told with figure painting thin with water, by using thinners instead of water, it just gives it almost magic like properties. But anyone who does scale models knows that anyway. So guys, I am going to finish the video now. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'm making this Saturday morning because I don't know how long it's going to take me to compile because I've got to transfer between videos. So I think I'm going to wait with my computer. I'm just going to put up with what's happening now. So until the new year, this is the format of my my weekly videos, weekly updates, until the computer breaks even more. But I can still film. I can still film normally. So today at some point I'm going to have a good look at the computer. I might fix it. It could be one little plug has come loose. Who knows? So with that, take care guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Well, I hope you have had a wonderful weekend, and I hope your next week is fantastic. How close are we actually to Halloween? Oh, we're not there yet, are we? Another week and a bit away. So take care guys, I'll catch you next week. Hope you have a great one. Bye bye.